Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's I'm going to be reviewing the Jeep Wagoneer L. This is Jeep's Suburban. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy for giving me some time with this Wagoneer L. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Now, powering the Wagoneer L is a twin-turbo 3-liter inline-6 that goes through an 8-speed. Fuel economy is 16 around town, 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 420 horsepower and then 469 pound-feet of torque. Before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you're going to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, starting with the hood, you can see this one's finished in this really cool silver. Wagoneer's been blacked out. You can see the headlight bezel also blacked out. Pretty nice headlight design overall. Grille's been blacked out, same thing with the bottom section. And then you've got these fog lights that are kind of hidden. Parking sensors here. And then you notice, like most other Jeeps, it actually has a decent approach angle. This isn't an off-road package or anything like that, but they kind of sculpt it differently. And when you put it all together, well, it definitely looks like a Jeep. Our tire wheel setup is 275 by 55 by 20. The wheels are completely blacked out with this version. And then you can see here with the fender flares, they are also blacked out. Same thing with the Wagoneer badge. You've got the blacked out mirror cap and then the window trim. This one has fixed side steps. And then if we take a few steps back, this is where you can see the size. It's got the extra long booty just like a Suburban. Now this leads us to the key fob where we've got the Wagoneer logo there. We have our lock and unlock function, remote start. We have the opening there for the rear hatch as well. And if we pop into the cargo area, it is quite impressive, just like a Suburban. So you can see there's a ton of storage space behind the third row. You've got a little 12 volt here in the back, and then with the third row you can raise and lower it with just the push of a button. With the second row you can only lower it down. If you want to raise it back up, you've got to do that yourself manually. But overall, again, tons of storage, and this is why you get the longer one, is you want tons of storage behind the third row. When you're all done, just press that button right there and that will lower the hatch right back down. When it comes to the taillight design, I think those also look pretty sharp. You can see Wagoneer across the back here. And then you've got parking sensors there at the bottom, bezel that covers the receiver hitch, and there's the rest of the rear. Popping into the passenger cabin, you can see that we've got soft touch there at the top of the door panel, and then nice soft touch with stitching. I like that trim there off to the side. And then Alpine sound system. Here are the seats. This one's got captain chairs. We have little TVs here on the back, and then you notice that we've got our own climate zone, heated seats. We've got some USB ports there, full outlet as well. Getting in's pretty easy. You've got these side steps to help out. Legroom back here is good. Headroom's also good. And then if we take a look at the third row here, you can see that we've got nice trim down the seats themselves. You can see the USB ports there. You also have the seat recline function off to the side, but you can very comfortably fit adults in that third row. This now leads us to the front, where again you've got that same design with the soft touch at the top and then the stitching down below. All of the windows are automatic up and down. Your regular mirror adjustment there. We've got memory seats, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And then you guys can see here 1581 for the payload capacity. And then here's the seat itself up front, perforated all down the center section. Power adjustments on the side. And then we've got light controls here. Steering wheel is power adjustable. And then you can see there's more soft touch all across the dash. Now take a look at the steering wheel. You can see, of course, Wagoneer front and center. We've got adaptive cruise control. You've got your gear limiter function down below, which will make it so it won't shift above a certain gear. You've got the controls there for the center screen. There are radio controls in the back, just trust me on that. And then you can see regular stocks there on the back too. Full digital gauge cluster here in the center, and you can change the formatting. You can also see vehicle information on this. It's pretty customizable, just like most modern gauge clusters. There is a cool kind of like depiction for the drive modes. Nothing too crazy out there, but it's got something. Just a backup camera in reverse. Pretty good resolution overall with the system. And then as for the infotainment system, you notice there's shortcut buttons there on either side for the heated and ventilated seats. And then there's a shortcut bar at the bottom. Just like other product, it does take a second for stuff to load up, especially when the vehicle's cold. Once everything's warmed up, including the screen, it seems like it functions a little bit quicker. But anyways, you got your climate here, which, of course, you have that rear climate you can also control if you want. You got that tab for it right there. And then they do give you some physical buttons for that down below. And then you notice we've got our volume control, and then you got your radio tuner button on the other side. Now this is just a little storage area. And I mean, it's pretty spacious inside. Contains all the charging stuff and everything. There's a bunch of ports in there, all of that in there. And then you've got your little shortcut function here to turn off the auto stop start, your lane departure, stability, hazard lights, parking sensors, your tow haul, and then you've got the mute function there as well for the radio. You've got your drive modes here, so sand, mud, snow, auto, and sport. And then we've got our little dial shifter, some cup holders, and then this is interesting. So kind of like a little top part of the center console. But yeah, tons of storage space inside. Nice trim on either side of the armrest. And then we just have a regular rear view mirror, and then no sunroof in this one. So quite a bit of glare, but this is a Series 2 Carbide L. Total MSRP is $77,930. And see how it performs. Wagoneer L, Jeep's Suburban. Let's set off and see how she moves. First off, I will say I love the seats in this. They're comfortable. And if you haven't had a chance to look at a new Wagoneer, go look at one in person, because once you like touch the trim pieces, I mean, this isn't, you know, Grand Wagoneer status, of course, but you just touch the trim pieces in one of these and everything feels like pretty, you know, relative for this segment, everything pretty high quality. Like, this is more of a luxury experience than what you get with Ford or General Motors, outside of going to the Lincoln brand with Ford, or going up to, you know, a GMC Yukon Ultimate or Escalade, right, with the GM product. But I will say inline six, very smooth, very smooth. And this, I think, is a huge selling point for the Wagoneer, as long as this powertrain ends up being reliable long term, right? Because the power delivery is really good. It's as good as a V8, but it's a little bit better fuel economy than a V8. It's very smooth. Yeah, when you go over everything, it's comfortable. You've got independent suspension all around, which is going to help out with your turn-in. So it's going to make this big beast handle better. And then it also helps out with the ride quality going over bumps, right? When you impact something, it only affects that one corner rather than transferring across a solid axle. Yeah, this is nice. I think I can turn in this lane. Well, obviously I can, but like, I'm trying to get over to the GMC dealership so I can do a comparison to one of these against a Yukon. Yeah, this is nice. You know, the one thing that I do like about modern Jeep, they have gone luxury, which I'd rather them go more like rugged than luxury personally. But the thing I do like about their form of luxury versus other automakers is it's not just all screen. Like, they do have a lot of screens, but at least I have some physical controls. This doesn't feel like super overwhelming. And maybe I'm in the minority, but I don't know. I talk to a lot of people, what they reiterate to me is that, like, some screen is okay, but like these cars that are coming with like this, like the new Ford Expedition with the screen all the way across the dash, it's like, it's a little bit much. But then other people are like, oh, then I can watch movies. And it's like, oh, I don't think you're gonna be watching a movie when you're driving a car, right? You're supposed to be driving, not, you know what I mean? So just a little bit different there. I will say insulation's pretty good in this. They've done a good job with that, and I think that's sounds relatively thick. Ah, I was excited. I thought we were gonna go. I forgot the lights here take forever. There we go. Yeah, This powertrain's just so smooth. Gotta love it for that. Yeah, the transmission, everything together, it's just a really smooth operation. I got another red light. I'm sorry, guys. This sucks for us. So, I'll have a comparison. I'll have more driving in that if you want to see more driving with the L. But basically, the L drives pretty much like a regular Wagoneer. It's just has more space, and it's again it's the same as if you go Yukon to Yukon XL, or you know, you go Expedition to, you know, the full, what is it, Expedition Max. There we go, that's the word I'm looking for. It's the same situation, right? You just basically get pretty much the same ride, you just have more space, and so parking's a little bit more difficult, but overall it's easy enough to drive. So let me know what you guys think.